Hi, I'm Dr. Patrick Andersen of Madison Maximize Living. We're often inundated with news and healthcare information, but not much of it concerns natural healthcare and things you can do to build a healthy body. In the next half hour, we're going to cover the latest on natural healthcare news that will make a difference in your life. Coming up next.
Welcome back to Maximize Living with Dr. Patrick Andersen, and we're doing natural healthcare news today. And Dr. Pat, I've got one for you. This is from foxnews.com. It says 433,000 people die every year because they sat for too long. The American Journal of Preventive Medicine found that sitting for more than 3 hours a day is responsible for 3.8%, which it comes out to 433,000 of all deaths worldwide every year. So who knew it was deadly? We knew it was bad for us, but It's actually deadly.
Yeah, sitting 3 hours a day is about the best amount, and beyond that, we lose function and degenerate. So that's a startling statistic.
And it says more than 60% of the world's population sits for more than 3 hours a day. The average is actually 4.7 hours a day, which I would believe with a lot of the people sitting at desks all day at work and maybe coming home, sitting on the couch. It's probably higher in a lot of cases.
Yeah, how about maybe 25 push-ups every hour, or just get up, jump rope for 100 reps or something. Probably really help a lot to get that movement in the spine.
And save your life.
Yeah, save your life. Mm-hmm. I've got one, 16 foods dietitians won't touch. That grabbed my attention.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what these are, I can guess.
Yeah, fiber bars actually was one of them because they felt you should get it through your fruits and vegetables, and they're often high in sugar. Mm-hmm. Processed meats, because they're very high in nitrates and additives. And in this study in 2010, 42% higher heart disease. 42% higher heart disease in those that eat a lot of processed meats. Foods that are fat-free. Low-fat diet craze really isn't working. So we need full-fat, healthy-fat foods. Sugary box cereals, that's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, I saw that one coming.
Candy bars, because of 23 grams of sugar, about all the sugar you should have in one day is in a candy bar. Flavored gelatin was mostly just flavor and sugar and coloring. Fast food. Specialty coffee drinks, about 300 calories.
A lot of sugar too, I bet.
Sugar and caramel flavors, and it tastes good, but you can't have all these things.
Yeah.
Boxed meals, this is one that gets me, the mac and cheese kind of things in the boxed foods, or the prepared helper packages of flavorings.
Kind of the powdered things that you're dumping in, yeah.
Fried foods obviously raise your bad cholesterol, the LDL. Here's one, frozen meals. The frozen TV dinners are usually in aluminum, and they're not high quality foods, and they're denatured when we microwave them, and they get the aluminum. So frozen meals, snack cakes, the little cupcakes and the Twinkies and all those things.
No surprise there.
You ever seen that commercial where that thing where they took a torch and tried to burn a Twinkie and you couldn't burn it with a blowtorch?
Uh-oh. So
if it doesn't burn up, what does it do to your gut? Exactly. Margarine. We used to think margarine was healthy, but it just isn't. It's a trans fat. Grits was on this. The thought there was that the corn was processed too much.
Oh, okay.
And then icing, and this one got me, icing. The fat and sugar. I don't mind the fat as much as I do the sugar in it. But when I remember when I was doing weightlifting and bodybuilding, when I competed, one of my diets, the first food I would eat after about 12 weeks of dieting.
Talk about icing?
No, it was carrot cake and some champagne. That was my break.
With lots of icing.
So don't do that, by the way. And then those breakfast, number 16, breakfast toaster pastries. and high in sugar. However, they're so good when they're warmed up, you can find some organic ones, I think.
You can? Oh, awesome. Good news there. Well, we have so many more healthcare news stories to share with you right after the break, so stay with us. Welcome back to Maximize Living with Dr. Patrick Andersen. We're talking natural healthcare news today. And Dr. Pat, I've got one here from Care2 Healthy Living. It talks about the crucial link between gut and brain health. They're finding that Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, dementia, and others are increasingly being linked to inflammation, which can start in your gastrointestinal tract. They're also finding that probiotics can function as antioxidants that destroy all these brain-damaging free radicals before they can do the damage. And that's according to the Journal of Nutrition Research.
Isn't that fascinating? It seems like there's a lot more news coming out of just how important that normal microbiome in the intestinal tract is. 100 different kinds of microorganisms living there, and our stressful, deficient diet will kill those off. And we need to nurture that, not only for our gut health, but our brain health as well. Even I've seen studies where autism, kids with autism functioned better when they had probiotics. As well.
And it does say here too that they're also finding that it could help the treatment of anxiety and depression too, which are fairly common.
Yeah, the gut. We work as one system, and it all is connected. So isn't that fascinating? How that the gut health is becoming so important.
Yeah.
They say 75% of our immune system is in our stomach. So, and on our stomach, our colon and lower GI tract. I've got one here from all the way from the United Kingdom, dailymail.com. The title kind of got me. Could other people's pills be ending up in your tap water? Experts fear massive doses of prescription drugs return unaltered through our sewage.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So you could be drinking a cocktail of other people's secondhand medication. But it is, right now they're saying the pharmaceuticals are designed to be stable and long-lasting, and that they're looking at find a way to make them break down in water better, so that they aren't break down as they pass through the body and not be so stable in the water and pass through. And for example, in a study in the Journal of the Environmental Science and Technology Letters analyzed the water from 59 small streams in the United States for the presence of 108 pharmaceuticals, and they found the anti-diabetic drug metformin in almost all of them.
Wow.
And one river alone contained 45 different prescription drugs, including anti-epileptic, medication, muscle relaxants, and opioids. So what we drink really matters. So this is where I think water filters are starting to become pretty important on your faucet, or even a whole household system can be important.
Yeah, that's frightening too. Who knew that could be coming just from your water when you're trying to drink more of it? I've got one here too from the World Health Organization. They found that 92% of the world's population is exposed to unsafe levels of air pollution. 3 million deaths a year, they say, can be attributed to outdoor air pollution. The number actually doubles when you take into account poor indoor air quality. So that's a lot of deaths that you're seeing from that.
We're beginning to understand that indoor air is even more toxic than outdoor air. And it has a lot to do with the chemicals in our carpets and in our furniture and things like that. So again, an air filter is a pretty good idea inside. But the pollution is a scary thing at this point.
Yeah, and it's hard to escape.
I've got one here. Do cell phones cause cancer? This is from Dr. Josh Axe, his website. And the overall study talks about the harmful ionizing radiation has been linked as a possible carcinogen. In 2011, the World Health Organization listed cell phone radiation as a 2B carcinogen. And so that's something to be concerned about. And he lists 5 things to do that you can help yourself with to reduce that cell phone radiation and its effect on your body. And we'll be back after the break with more on cell phones.
Welcome back to Maximize Living with Dr. Patrick Andersen. We're talking natural healthcare news today. Before the break, we were talking about some of the dangers that may be associated with cell phone usage, and you've got some ways, Dr. Pat, to help protect yourself, it says.
Yes, an article from Dr. Josh Axe. But before we do that, have you ever heard of nomophobia?
No.
It's the fear of being without your cell phone.
I believe that that's a real thing in today's society.
Isn't that something?
There's a name for it now.
So there's 5 common sense steps listed here to help with the cell phone. Create some distance, keeping the phone further away from your body by using a speakerphone or an air tube wired headset, not a Bluetooth. So increase the distance. So electromagnetic radiation is 75% lower just 2 inches away from your ear.
Okay.
And 50 times lower at 3 feet away. So it really diminishes quickly. So distance is a good idea. Keep it out of your pocket. There are real concerns that cell phones in the pocket are interfering with normal sensitive tissues, including the prostate.
Okay.
For men. Next, text more, talk less. There's less radiation when you're texting.
It's farther away from you.
Yeah, and it just less exposure to your body. And don't use your cell phone as an alarm clock, or I wouldn't want to sleep with it in the bed or something like that, because you're getting that all the time. And number 5, don't use your cell phone when moving at high speeds, because it causes there's more radiation being drawn as you're switching cell towers.
Oh, interesting. Who knew?
That'd be a good time to use a speakerphone or not.
Or not talk while you're driving.
Or not talk while you're driving, probably a better idea. So as far as cell phones cause of cancer, the verdict just isn't in yet completely.
Okay. Now I've got some superfoods that will help keep you slim. This is coming from the Daily Express. Salmon is one that you hear about a lot. It sounds that the omega-3 acids actually are increasing your metabolism. So that's good to know, to eat a lot of salmon. Quinoa's on here for its high protein content that makes you feel fuller longer. You've got almonds. Some people avoid that because they feel it's got kind of a high fat content, but actually the combination, again, of the protein and the high fat will actually keep you fuller longer. Broccoli is a good one. It's got a lot of fiber. There's also several micronutrients within it that support weight loss as well. So load up on the broccoli. Coconut oil, we've talked a little bit about coconut oil before and trying to use that in cooking. They've got a unique type of fats called medium chain triglycerides that actually boosts your metabolism. We've got grapefruit on there as well. It's been shown to curb appetite, but it can lower the output of the fat storage hormone insulin. And chili peppers. You might want to spice up your food a little bit. That can help combat your cravings for sweet and high-fat foods, it says. And then, of course, raspberries, too, can boost your metabolism and have a low glycemic index. So those are some foods that you can start eating today. And
none of those are found in a box, are they?
No. Yeah, that's a good way to know what you're getting is natural.
Well, I've got one here, the 5 worst artificial sweeteners. You know, that's quite fascinating what we've got, and I'll go through those. We've got, where are we here? Aspartame, we've heard of that.
Talked about that in the show.
And there's over 6,000 foods with aspartame in it, and over 500 prescription drugs with it. And it really can have side effects, headaches, migraines, mood disorders, dizziness. Even psychological disturbances, and people are shying away from aspartame because of that. But they're using other sweeteners that aren't necessarily any better. Sucralose is one called Splenda, and it's a chlorinated sucrose derivative. And it was originally developed as a new insecticide compound, and it wasn't originally intended to be consumed. And it's 600 times sweeter than sugar, so one of the concerns, besides the chlorinated part of it isn't very healthy for you, really, is an addiction for overly sweet foods.
Really?
Because you're getting this highly intense sweetness taste. And you start getting addicted to sweet foods.
Well, we're almost out of time, but I want to get those last couple in there that people should be avoiding. You've got
acetylsulfamine K. Is Sunat, or Sweet One, sweet and safe. And it's been shown to cause mood problems, some types of cancer, impaired liver and kidney function, problems with eyesight, and even maybe linked to autism. Again, it's just not healthy to use these artificial sweeteners. Next is saccharin or sweet and low, and that has problems with photosensitivity, nausea, digestive upset with some people. And it used to have a warning in the 1970s because it seemed to cause bladder cancer in rats, but then the warning is taken away. And then one's xylitol, which is a sugar alcohol, and they're just not well absorbed by the body, and there's concern that it can cause bloating, gas, cramping, and diarrhea. So what's the solution? It's stevia, it's maple syrup, coconut sugar, and just train your sweet tooth down a little bit, because that's a monster that never gets quenched if you keep feeding it.
If you keep doing it. Definitely want to avoid those. We'll stay with us. Welcome back to Maximize Living with Dr. Patrick Andersen. We're talking natural healthcare news today. And Dr. Pat, we were talking a little bit in the break more about coconut oil. You've actually got some great benefits from it.
Yes. There's an article, 20 Coconut Oil Benefits, written by Dr. Josh Axe. And so I don't know if we'll cover all of them, but I want to point out some of the major ones. It's an Alzheimer's disease natural treatment. The ketones are very good for the brain for energy.
Okay.
And the ketones that are produced when you intake coconut oil. So first you might say, well, how much do I have just to kind of get to the end of it? He says 1 to 3 tablespoons a day.
Okay.
So we'll put it like into your smoothies, or take it in other ways. Coconut is good for heart disease. It's high in natural saturated fats. It's very helpful in increasing the high-density lipoproteins. It's helpful with kidney infections and protects the liver. It's such an energy source, and it's antibacterial, antifungal. Reduces inflammation and arthritis. Found that using coconut oil was helpful in suppressing inflammation in the body. Cancer prevention and treatment. Ketones produced in the digestion of coconut oil are helpful to feed healthy cells in your body and not get the sugar that the cancer cells want. And also it helps digest the lipid walls of bacteria. It helps break down bacteria to have the medium chain triglycerides. So it's antifungal, antiviral, and
antibacterial too?
Antibacterial.
Wow.
Improves memory and brain function. It improves memory problems in older adults, and a marked improvement in their ability to recall after taking coconut oil.
Wow, so take that
it's a
before
brain
a
health.
test.
Yeah, take it before a test. Improves energy and endurance, and a lot of triathletes and Ironman athletes take coconut oil because it breaks down and gives them a good solid source of energy without using a lot of energy to digest. Improves digestion and stomach ulcers. Reduces symptoms of gallbladder and pancreatitis in the study.
Wow.
Improves skin issue, burns, eczema. Dan, it's starting to sound like Bubba Gump and a shrimp.
Coconut shrimp.
Coconut shrimp, boiled shrimp, fried shrimp, grilled
Probably
shrimp.
don't want fried, right?
Yeah, we don't want fried, but there's many uses. It prevents gum and tooth decay. To help gingivitis, oil pulling is something you may have heard about, where you put a tablespoon in your mouth and you swish it around for 5, 10, 20 minutes, as long as you can.
Yeah.
And then that helps, it's because it's so antibacterial. It says it prevents osteoporosis, or helps at least, and it's helpful in weight loss. It helps to burn fat. Building muscle and losing body fat. So we're recommending that anyone working out and wanting to build muscle include coconut oil for its ability to help burn fat and build muscle. It's good for your hair. Yeast infections. It's good for anti-aging. It reduces stress on the liver by lowering your oxidation stress. It's good for hormone balance. So a lot of things, and people don't realize it's also good for as a sunscreen. It has a sun protective factor of 10. So there's a lot of things in nature that are just so incredibly healthy. So I encourage you to look into adding products like coconut oil, like avocados, like blueberries into your daily use and consumption.
Definitely want to pick up a bottle of coconut oil today, I think. We'll stay with us. We have more after the break. Have your questions for Dr. Pat answered on an episode of Maximize Living. Send your email to drpat@wi57.tv.
Thank you for watching our show on Natural Healthcare News. I hope the articles we discussed help you make better choices and move your health forward. One of the best choices you can make is to get a chiropractic checkup. Please call our office at 608-833-1282 to evaluate your structure and nervous system. For Maximize Living, I'm Dr. Patrick Andersen. Until next time, live well and God bless.
Have your questions for Dr. Pat answered on an episode of Maximize Living. Send your email to drpat@wi57.tv.